Let us see then what this is all about.
We're close to Rubicon. Wake the dog up.
Handler Walter verified. Activating cerebral coral control device. Augmented human C4621 has awakened.
Time to get to work, 621. I'm powering down your entry capsule. On my signal. Now, activate the AC.
Seemed like there was an attempt to destroy me whilst I was still in transit.
Descent to ISB 2262, Rubicon 3, complete.
Your position is grid 135. Off target, but within permissible range. There's a catapult ahead. Use it to close the gap.
Excellent. Will do.
Main system activating combat mode.
Boost versus quick boost is an interesting bit of distinction. Okay. Some sort of industrial facility. Some actions consume EN, energy, and are disabled when EN is depleted. EN replenishes rapidly when on the ground. Very well. The reticle automatically targets on-screen enemies. When there are multiple enemies, the enemy closest to the center of the screen will be prioritized. Move the camera to change the priority target.
Clear out those guard mechs. Perfect chance to test your AC.
Target Assist keeps your AC oriented towards the target. When enabled, your AC will automatically lock its orientation towards enemies as you approach them. You can still use the camera to change targets while in Target Assist mode. The missile launcher equipped to the right shoulder of this AC is capable of multi-target lock, which allows you to attack multiple enemies simultaneously by holding down the input of this weapon. Now, we could skip on over to there, see about investigating that region. In fact, I think we shall. Whoa! Well, that's an interesting function. F to access. I believe that should be this button. Okay. Barricades can be used up to 3 times per mission, but cannot be used in rapid succession.
Your AC's taking damage. Patch it up.
2 repair kits remaining.
Okay.
See the contaminated city down there? That's where you're landing. Access the catapult.
So it would seem we have limited ammunition available. That, in this case, seems to be a bit of a waste then. But oh well. We just have to keep it in mind. I really do love mech catapults.
Time to fly, 621. If we get our hands on Rubicon's coral, we'll make a killing. Plenty for a merc with a fried brain like you to buy their life back. Enough chat, back to work. Scavenge the AC wrecks ahead and find a valid mercenary license. We're illegals here. You'll need ID to operate.
An AC? Where the hell did that come from? Affiliation unknown. The merc. Shut it down.
Guerrillas from the Liberation Front. They'll get in the way of our work. Eliminate them.
What wanton destruction.
I'm picking up signals from AC Rex. Follow the markers.
We're being attacked!
Unidentified AC! Return fire! There! That's the ACs of the report!
Find out who they're working for.
Looks like they've got shields. Good thing you've got a blade. Extract the pilot data. I'll analyze it from my end.
License code Tomas Kirk. License code extracted from Armored Core wreck in the contaminated city. Contains the pilot's registration data. Registration number RB18, callsign Tomas Kirk. Rank 26E. Affiliation independent. License expired.
This one's already expired. Keep looking. What?
Misty! We've got something good!
Get out of there! You can handle them!
That's the PCA's planetside force. Keep a low profile. We don't want them breathing down our necks. Analyzing.
License code extracted from an AC wreck in the contaminated city contains the pilot's registration data. Registration number RB29, callsign G7 Hakra. Rank 22D. Affiliation Barlam Industries. License expires in 12 hours.
Corp license, easily traced. Forget it.
Corp AC. Wait, is that an independent? Destroy it!
We're outnumbered 6-1. Use your missiles.
Need to get better at properly
Let's see about this
controlling
license.
the amount of munitions I expend. License code extracted from an armored core wreck in the contaminated city contains the pilot's registration data. Registration number RB37. Callsign Monkey Gordo. Affiliation independent. License expires in 15 days.
It's still valid, but the pilot's rank is no good. We can't use this. I've picked up one more wreck, 621. Transmitting marker. Go and check it out.
While standing on a vertical catapult, perform a jump quickly to reach high up places.
You can use that vertical catapult to get some altitude.
Is that it?
That's it. Try accessing the wreck. Registration number RB23. Rank fits the bill. Call sign. What? Looks like they were onto you after all. I'm in no mood to pick a fight with the PCA. But it doesn't matter. Take it out now and they won't have enough to ID you. Use your mobility in the air to get clear of explosions on the ground.
AP at 30%. Light shoulder ammunition at 50%. AP at 50%. AP at 30%. No repair kits remaining. AP at 50%. Right-hand ammunition at 50%. AP at 30%.
Explosive attacks have a blast radius. Even if you dodge the initial hit, it is easy to get caught off guard by the blast if you remain on the ground. Evasive aerial maneuvers are a good way to handle attacks that are difficult to dodge by merely quick boosting.
That's it. Try accessing the wreck. Registration number RB23. Rank fits the bill. Call sign. What? Looks like they were onto you after all. I'm in no mood to pick a fight with the PCA. But it doesn't matter. Take it out now and they won't have enough to ID you.
repair kits remaining. AP at 50%. AP at 30%.
Dear, oh dear.
That's it. Try accessing the wreck. Registration number RB23. Rank fits the bill. Call sign. What? Looks like they were onto you after all. In no mood to pick a fight with the PCA. But it doesn't matter. Take it out now and they won't have enough to ID you.
AP at 50%. AP at 30%. AP at 50%. AP at 50%. AP at 30%.
That's it. Try accessing the wreck. Registration number RB23. Rank fits the bill. Call sign. What? Looks like they were onto you after all. In no mood to pick a fight with the PCA. But it doesn't matter. Take it out now and they won't have enough to ID you. AP at 50%. AP at 30%. Use your mobility in the air to get clear of explosions on the ground.
That's how we do it.
Heavy combat helicopter is down. That's all for our work here today, 621. Here's the call sign from that license you picked up.
License code Raven. License code extracted from an armored core wreck in the contaminated city. Contains pilot's registration data. Registration number RB23. Call sign Raven. Rank F. Affiliation independent. License expires in 3 days. It's worth noting, from an out-of-game perspective, 23 is vanadium that is associated with fertility, life, Freya, and Marika. Raven is associated with the Glomide Queen as well as Velka, the goddess who has a very keen crow and raven association in Dark Souls 1. This puts us in a very interesting position of piloting, at least under a false identity, a job that seems to see us as Marika. So I'm guessing that actually puts us in the position of being Radigan. Radigan is Marika, so to speak.
Raven. That's your new name here on Rubicon.
Excellent.
Coral, a sublime substance. Discovered on Rubicon, a planet on the frontier of developed space. For a time, coral was a revolutionary energy resource and data conduit, poised to transform human society by leaps and bounds. They called it the Fires of Ibis, a storm of flame that tore through the stars, leaving lethal contamination in its wake. Coral, the kindling, was thought to have been utterly consumed, forever lost. However, on Rubicon, the embers continued to burn. Humanity would inevitably return to stoke the fire.
Okay. That has some really deep Dark Souls and Elden Ring flavor mixed in. Very interesting business, this fusion of the two.
Registration number RB23. Call sign Raven. Authentication complete. Removing MIA status. Restoring access privileges. This is Allmind, the mercenary support system. Welcome back, Raven.
Looks like you passed the authentication. Raven. That's who you are now, here on Rubicon.
Upside down
I've
triangle.
picked up some work for you already. Take a look, 621.
And a pierced hand. Very interesting.
This notification follows restoral of access privileges. Allmind provides a combat training simulator to support its mercenaries. Your license was in a suspended state. Perhaps you may need a refresher. As an added incentive, completion of the exercises will be rewarded with AC parts. You stand to benefit regardless.
Okay. So, our handler has an upside down triangle. The Allmind has an upside right one. Let's see for a second here. I have some memories regarding that. Yes. The upside down triangle is the symbol of the Golden Order, whereas the upside right one is the symbol of the Fire Giants, their seals. So that's going to be very interesting to keep in mind, since that Fire Giant seal has the Eye of the Greater Will at the center of it, or the Fell God as it's known in its Fire Giant orientation. Hello, hello. First time playing Armored Core, yes, indeed. That is also correct. I was going to bring up the alchemical associations as well, but thank you, no matter, for bringing it in the first place. Sulfur is the upside right one associated with the Fire Giants, whereas the downward one should be Mercury, right? I know it's water, but I don't quite remember 100%. But yes, you are correct, it is rubidium. It's just I didn't want to make that assumption because of the fact that we are on Rubicon 3. I think it might be a double entendre as such. But since it is RB23, the most red 23 is suggesting specifically, as I was thinking about earlier, that this is supposed to be us playing as Radigan here. Rubidium, the most red, Radigan's red hair he can't get rid of. And 23 for vanadium, the sign of America. A curious little thing. Let's go with Armored Core design first. Customize Armored Core assemblies using the parts that you have available at the assembly menu. When assembling an Armored Core, ensure that your build keeps within the maximum weight and EN load parameters. Let's see. Right arm unit RF 24 Turner. 24, I believe, is titanium, so that's good to know. This mech, which our dear Radigan is running in, has titanium. Wait, no. Isn't 22 titanium? Give me 1 second here. I was thinking it would say he has the power of the gods on his hand, but no, it's chromium. That makes much more sense. Chromium is used to symbolize Radigan as his role as a father, or in his role as a father specifically. So that works out. Let's see here. High 32 Butta, or B-U-T-T-A. Let's see, 32. 32 is germanium, which also is quite relevant for Radigan, both insofar as I've seen it used to refer to the fact that he knows the Tarnished is from the real world, as well as the fact that he's wanting to cleave to Godfrey's sort of warrior culture, that he's mimicking him in his lordly capacity. So missiles are lordly, very German, yes. Let's see here. $2,000s, that just means it's, what is it called? Advanced past the 1,000 prototypes or whatever. BMLG1 P20 MLT04. So 1 hydrogen, 20 is calcium, something that Radigan is quite well known for. He is the lattice that creates structural support. So that makes a lot of sense. 4 is death. So you have the soul, death, and calcium. Very interesting sort of combination going on here. And that is his sword. So the structural support is associated with the Elden Ring. The Elden Ring has his bending rune, the lattice, equipped on it right now. His soul, the Elden Ring, is at his core, so yes. But 4 relates to the Ring of Death, because death is... Oh, hey, Jack. Glad to see you have joined us. 4 being death suggests, as I thought previously, Radigan does know that the ring, or Rune of Death, needs to return to the Elden Ring. That's something he's ideologically bent on, based on the Golden Order Greatsword. Some very interesting things that we're finding here in our little bits of analysis. Oh yes, to start off, this is RB23, Raven's campaign. Rubidium is the most read, as No Matter here has brought up. 23, however, is Vanadium. Vanadium is associated with Freya, fertility and harvests goddess, which means, of course, it refers to Marika. Raven is the alter ego that we have. We're taking on that identity. Marika is taking on the identity of the Glowmite Queen, who inherits the identity of Velka, associated with ravens. Very interesting sort of triple mimicry going on there. Radigan, Marika, Glowmite Queen, Velka. 23 path on the Hermetic Tree of Life is the Hanged Man. Ooh. That is interesting. That reminds me of the entry to Demon Souls. Oh yes, I think so. It's also another thing that I noticed coming into it. Our handler has the symbol of Golden Order fundamentalism. So that's directly linking up with the Radigan aesthetic. But the All-Mind has the Fell Gods seal, essentially. Triangle facing upwards, fire. Fires of Rubicon. Very interesting that they're supposed to be our support, this All-Mind. Let's see. Moving on. 10 is Neon, association of Crucible and the Sun. Obviously, there's a sort of strong connection there insofar as Radigan has deep connections with the Crucible, but also that he is the Phoenix, the rising from the dead person, which is what happened with our dear Raven as well. All-Mind recognized us as not actually being AWOL presumed dead anymore, but revived. Therefore, Radigan is coming back to life. A new vessel, so to speak, of the supposedly same person piloting. 1-1, this is 98. That would take some doing. Give me 1 second. So, element 98 is Californium. I'm not 100% sure exactly what's going on there. Something about scientific innovation and great powers. 9 breaks? Oh, hello there, Watson. Let's see here. Oh, we have gear so we can actually look at the descriptions now. Okay. Rifle 24. Turner. Weapon 24, which is associated again with chromium. That is Radigan as the father. Standard assault rifle. And Turner. Turner's a curious name in that regard. Not sure what to make of that. Makes me think turning the tides, but let's continue and actually read the description here, see if we can find out something else. Standard assault rifle developed by Balam. Balances rapid-fire performance and firepower, making it easy to use on full auto. That's interesting. I've been using it semi-automatically. Didn't realize we had fully automatic use of this weapon. Oops. A long-selling classic popular with anyone from new corporate recruits to veteran mercenaries. Pulse Blade developed by Takigawa Harmonix. Delivers slashing attacks with high-frequency oscillations that are ideal for cancelling out pulse defenses. Charge to increase output and pound targets with more powerful oscillation. Okay, so we can charge our melee attacks, just like Radigan likes to use charge attacks in his boss fights, and Wilder likes to use charge attacks for his ultimates. Let's see. 4-cell missile launcher developed by Furlong Dynamics. Furlong is a unit of distance. I suppose that makes some sense as you're throwing the missiles up into the air, trying to get long-distance targets. Missiles track targets and explode on a hit, contributing greatly to build up of ACS strain. Compact model for lightweight builds, capable of multi-lock. Let's see. Balam. What is the root of that? Let's find out what Balam means. Balam, a supernatural being in Mayan religion that guards cornfields and villages. A god of agriculture. Well, that makes some sense. This weapon, then, is made and suited for America. Who is the one who was originally piloting it? Not the most unreasonable here. Let's see. I'll actually click on that. Let's see. Fellow the Long... Walks in the air and whistles as he goes. A much-dreaded nocturnal being. Very interesting. And Takigawa Harmonix. Okay, that's interesting. Takigawa means, yes, no matter, waterfall river. But I think it's important to me to take this into account specifically insofar as that means it is a stream that does not allow for rot. It's not conducive to stillness. It's always on the move and prevents any sort of what is it called? Any sort of... Now, there's a specific word for this. Not decadence. Not decay. Stagnation. That's what it is. It's an anti-stagnation name. The blade is associated with running water, so we're being equipped with the blind swordsman's weapon. That is an interesting sort of theme to go on here. Why would Radigan be equipped with the weapon of the blind swordsman? Well, it definitely evokes the connection that he has with our dear Melania. So I guess you might think that it's Radigan growing from his fatherhood in the same way that he grows from his connection with Mikola, the back and forth that they have in developing of spells for Golden Order fundamentalism. Let's see. I don't have any of that. I'll need to purchase or otherwise acquire something. Head part for the Scout Armored Corps developed by RAD. RAD is a very interesting name. Radium, and then I don't think there's actually an element that has just D like that. If there is, it escapes me. But obviously rad is something that naturally will invoke radium. Oh yes, it is wielding a sword on the left arm as well. That is worth noting. That's Radigan's spell-deflecting sword. Or arm, I should say. And in here, it's used for going against shields, which I suppose is a very similar sort of mechanic. But in reverse, it's offensive rather than defensive. So the left-hand path is one of avoiding rot and cutting through defenses. It's the arm that Sekiro loses. But it's important and would be necessary to take out enemies here. Originally spec'd for surveying terrain, this model makes up for what it lacks in combat performance with a light energy footprint and commendable ease of use. CC-2000 Orbiter. Core part of the Armored Corps developed by RAD. Originally spec'd for extravehicular activity in space, this model makes up for what it lacks in combat performance with a light energy footprint and commendable ease of use. Power saving measures. Wonder what that's all about. That seems like something he would do when there's significant scarcity going on. Arm parts for Scout Armored Corps developed by RAD. Originally spec'd for recovering scrap, this model makes up for what it lacks in combat performance with light energy footprint and commendable ease of use. Bipedal legs for Scout Armored Corps developed by RAD. Originally spec'd for surface surveys of astronomical objects, this model makes up for what it lacks in combat performance with light energy footprint and commendable ease of use. Now, this is very interesting. Doubly so. 1, 2C-2000 Crawler implies weak legs. It's a sign of an albinoric. OBS Studio disconnected? Reconnecting? What? Okay, reconnection successful. Guys, did the stream decide to crash for you for a second and is now back in play? You able to hear me properly? Anyway, crawler implies artificiality. Good. No matter. Thank you. And is specifically designed for traversing asteroids. That makes me think of Meter and the Estelles. That this is supposed to be some sort of specific reference to coming in from space and walking amongst the inhabitants of this world. And it makes me think of the fact that the Elden Beast does have legs, but moves around as if it were a fish out of water. The Elden Beast is at the core of Radigan, and that might be what's actually getting this connection going. Yes, I agree. That is a very interesting line of thought. We can see it pretty clearly in Rad here, but the others quite yet. Oh, tool arm. Oh, that is a direct reference to Sekiro. Very interesting. This arm is made for modularity. You're supposed to equip ninja tools to it, like this katana that cuts through shields. Oh my freaking gosh, we start this game with the Moonlight Greatsword. Oh, that's great. The Moonlight Greatsword ignores shields and has for quite some time. So, that's good to know. Thank you, random mechanical parallels. Orbiter makes sense. Orbiter is a reference to the sun and moon. At least in a geocentric model, you have the sun and the moon orbiting, as well as the planets around the central planet, but that feels a little bit strange. Oh, I get it. This is talking about the chain of connection which links all things. Our funny little causality reference that we need to keep in mind. So yes, at the core of Radigan, he keeps causality and what is the other one called? My mind is betraying me here. You have causality, you have retrocausality, and you have gosh, this is horribly embarrassing. Yes, thank you. Regression. I knew it started with RE, but my mind couldn't quite snap it into place. So much stuff jingling around in there. Regardless, causality and regression seems to be in mind here. We have the orbiter embracing causality, and then you have the crawler talking about how you move forward. So actually it's the reverse. This is causality. The orbit around things, I believe, is regression. Anyway, tools, crawler, P10. First generation booster, developed by Furlong Dynamics. Though inferior to current models, this booster remains a viable choice, especially for lightweight assemblies due to its modest energy burden and ease of use. P01, first generation FCS developed by Furlong Dynamics. This model dates from a time before Furlong specialized in missile development. So that's good to know. They're focused on missiles, and that's why they also make boosters. This model dates from a time before they specialized in missile development, but it remains in production due to its balanced performance and low energy burden. So you have a bunch of energy saving measures coming from both Furlong Dynamics and rad here, making a very low energy load overall. That seems to be the strength of this model. Joso. I don't know what Joso means. Is it actually a real word? Let's find out. Oh, interesting. Joso can mean spirit, charm, or witchcraft. So of course you have the Glowmite Queen's funny little mech suit having witchcraft embedded in it. Very interesting. And it's the generator as well, so it's the power of the mech coming from witchcraft. Oh, that fits very well. What silliness. Gosh, it really loves to pull in these sly little references here. So, internal combustion generator developed by Baus for an old generation of armored cores. Performance is not dissimilar to generic MT models, making it an unreliable choice for combat use in modern armored core build. I'm sorry guys, witchcraft is on the out. Guess we'll have to replace it with something that's more OBS Studio deconnected again. Leaf. AC data. Save and load AC assemblies and cosmetics settings from the Armored Core data menu. In order to load AC data, you must currently own all parts and other elements included in the assembly. If online, you can upload AC assemblies you have created to receive shared ID that can be shared with other players, or download other players' shared assemblies. So I'm not going to worry about that. Right now, I don't have the ability to purchase anything, and I don't have any extra parts, so it's time to sortie. I won't replay that mission. I could go to training. I think I actually will. Let's see if I can get more used to this. Learn to pilot an armored core and master fundamental battle techniques from training menu. Complete the exercises using the training AC to earn standardized training parts used for instruction. Standardized training parts. Curious. Oh, wait. Complete program. Objective. Details. This virtual reality simulator is for basic mercenary training as provided by Allmind. Pilot a training craft to learn the basics of combat. Pilot a training craft to learn the basics of combat. Pilot a training craft to learn the basics of combat. Training subjects. Lock-on. Reloading. Missile lock. Melee weapon and scanning. The interesting thing is that this training simulator seems like it could be used to propagandize and sabotage people. To land shots on moving enemies, you must pull the trigger while they are within lock-on range, where target tracking is active. Okay. Weapons with magazines will automatically reload when the magazine's ammunition is depleted. Manually reload before engaging the enemies to minimize the risk that your attacks will be interrupted by a reload. Okay, I'm going to have to look in the in the description here for my actual controller, which means pause. Purge weapon? Is that... No. Dang it. I don't think that we have the ability to reload with a controller. Ugh. Missile lock. To use your missiles to use missiles and other homing rounds, keep the enemy on screen until lock-on completes, then fire. Some missile weapons are capable of multi-lock, which allows you to attack multiple enemies simultaneously by holding the input for weapons. Need to try that again. Wasn't able to properly establish lock on all three of them. Or maybe that's this. Maybe it's actually that this weapon doesn't actually have that capacity. It really would be nice if it told us whether it's this missile that will allow us to do so. Scanning. You can detect nearby enemies or containers that hold armored core parts by scanning. Any objects that were detected by the scan will be temporarily highlighted. If an enemy is detected, you will be able to achieve lock-on even through walls or other cover. Okay, down. Ha 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 ha. Parts obtained. Machine gun 14 Ludlow. Okay. Excellent. Now we have some more lore to go through. 14, and it's NG as well. So, magnesium it wants us to understand, which makes some sense. So this is artificial. It is a training weapon. I got this weapon from virtual reality. So yes. Anyway. Silicon. Energy conduction is being naturally brought up here. I don't know why that's the case, but it's interesting. The Silicon Ludlow. Balaam as well. Okay, I've just checked, and it is the case that the Hebrew name, which I have historically pronounced Balaam, has 2 A's. So that is not the same thing. It is talking about the Mayan deity. So, let's see here. We have Ludlow. Okay. Ludlow means roaring hill. So it's similar to a roaring river that is very loud in that case. But I think here, what roaring hill actually is supposed to mean is troll. It's an artificial weapon representing artificial giants. Makes a good deal of sense. Oh? From the Ars Goetia? That's interesting. I was not aware of that. Let's check in there and see exactly what that Balaam is. Interesting. You are right. I had dismissed this fact because of the fact that the Balaam in question in Hebrew would have been spelled the exact same as the one that I actually looked up. But it is actually the case that the one from Ars Goetia is using just a single A rather than 2 A's, so this is relevant. So, let's see. A king of hell. And what is this particular hell king about? Depicted as being 3-headed. One is the head of a bull, the second of a man, and the third of a ram. Has flaming eyes and the tail of a serpent. Carries a hawk on the fist and rides a strong bear. At other times, represented by a naked man riding a bear. Gives perfect answers on things past, present, and to come, and can also make men invisible as well as witty. Very curious. So, tail of a serpent, flaming eyes. Head of a bull. A bull is related to Meter, but it seems... Yes, I recall Radigan at least once using the bull to refer to himself. The third is of a ram. Let's see. Ram makes me think of the heads of the boats that the Newman came down on, but I don't know quite where it would come into things aesthetically here. Oh yeah. I see. So yes, this is actually probably referring to Godfrey. Head of a ram. Godfrey is the bull goat. He is going to be just like our good old what is the dragon's name? It's not the Sigisex, it's his rival. Minus. Horrible. Bale. I knew it wasn't Baal, but it was very linguistically similar. It's Bale. Bale the Dread is represented symbolically with associations of the ram. Godfrey is as well. And obviously he's simultaneously a man and is associated with bears. So, very curious. You have a weapon here that is associated with Godfrey, but it's referencing trolls in its name. So it's also keeping in mind the fact that Godfrey is descendant from giants, and Radigan here is taking up this weapon in order to mimic Godfrey, because Godfrey is his ideal for lordship, to aspire to actually maintaining a good public image, even if he takes it in a slightly different direction as well. Especially with things like the Colosseums being declined, or I should say retired afterwards. So, shines with double trigger builds, whether using two of this weapons or in combination with another. Interesting. Has excellent rapid fire output, but somewhat lacking in firepower when used alone. Total number of rounds goes up, but it's also... Oh, that is significantly reduced impact and attack power. So this one balances rapid fire performance and firepower. It's an assault rifle. It can be used on full auto, but it has a higher punch than this machine gun, which I suppose is a submachine gun. So, it's saying Radigan has more striking power than Godfrey. I suppose that makes sense considering the two fights are leading into one another. Radigan with the Elden Ring does certainly smash things up some quite fiercely. A very silly little bit of minor egotism there. I don't think that's really reflective on the character, probably. Just some observations about the differences between the two weapons. Oh, significant weight reduction here as well. So that's interesting. And the energy load is significantly reduced, which causes the speed to go up. I see. But I'm going to remain with the assault rifle rather than the machine gun, and we shall move on to tutorial 3, or no, 2, but also tutorial won't actually appear. So, given that's the case, I guess we're moving on to real proper missions. Also, thank you, Pharos. Check incoming jobs and sortie on missions from the missions menu. Complete missions to progress the story. So, I can choose destroy artillery installations or clean up grid 135. which asks me to eliminate enemy squads. Mop up Dafang MT squads deployed in grid 135. Oh, that's interesting. Thank you, No Matter. So John Connor is being mentioned, a time traveler, a little kid here. A sort of almost chosen one, very Mikola-minded. So, let's see, what were the Furlong weapons? The missiles were from Furlong. You have the boosters. So, Mikola gives you wings, I guess. And let's see. Oh, Radigan with the power of the Elden Ring floats up in the air, defying gravity, and then smashes down. Also, the greater will. Is highly associated with gravity magic. And then finally, first generation FCS developed by Furlong Dynamics. This model dates from before, blah blah blah. I think FCS should be flight control systems. I'm not sure. So that might be something that we need to find out exactly the meaning of in order to properly mesh in with this. But it's missiles, rocket boosters, and whatever this FCS G1 PO1 is. So, destroy all artillery installations. I will do that first because it is first on the list.
Got a job for you, 621. This is an open call from the Balaam Group, one of the corporate forces occupying Rubicon.
Attention all independent mercenaries! This request comes from our affiliate, Dafang. Rubicon Liberation Front has deployed Baus artillery throughout the contaminated city. The city itself has no strategic value, but we cannot allow them to hinder expansion of the Coral Survey. Show us your ambition. Destroy the Liberation Front's artillery. Bonus pay will be awarded for destroying their MTs. We want the enemy weakened. Consider it an opportunity to prove yourself. Impress us, mercenaries!
Okay, random King of Hell, I will keep that in mind. Let's see, I guess that would mean that that's actually Godfrey being a commander of the army telling us to go out and slaughter some people. Because might. Very typical Godfrey leadership decision there. Go slaughter those people so that they can't actually bother us with their thoughts of independence.
The client doesn't care who does this job, as long as it gets done.
Because money! Yes, indeed. Gotta get those runes.
Main system activating combat mode.
Commence mission. Destroy all of the Rubicon Liberation Front's artillery placements.
Us already. Sneaky bastard.
There. That's one of the
Hi there.
We're clear here. Move on to the next site, 621.
Meant to fire
Up
missiles.
against mass-produced MTs. Eliminate them as necessary.
Enemy attack! They're after the artillery! Fight back!
Ooh! Ow.
Head to the final site. Keep up the good work.
There! That culprit's dog! Don't give him another inch! We have to defend the artillery!
Clear out the artillery here and our work is over.
Fire! Surround that AC!
Show that interloper what makes the Liberation Front strong. Forced in act, we stand as one!
2 repair kits remaining. One repair kit remaining.
Confirmed. All targets destroyed. That's it for this job, 621. Return to base.
That worked out quite well. A new Raven, indeed. This is my very first time playing this game. It's been some time since I've played mech games in general, but they were quite fun in my youth. Good stuff. Able to maintain minimal damage and minimal expenditure. And good bonuses for taking out the enemies. So welcome there, Vortex.
One new
Or
message.
here, I suppose.
This is a notification from Allmind, the mercenary support system. Registration number RB23, call sign Raven. Your return to mercenary activities has been acknowledged. Restoring access to the parts shop.
Oh, and don't tell Allmind that I'm completely new here. Might blow my cover. Not great. Excellent. I can actually purchase parts now. New exercise data added to training. So, let's see what we can get. Purchase armored core parts sold by various corporations and factions from the buy menu. More parts will be available for purchase as you progress through the story or meet certain conditions. So, we already have lots of different options here. The MAJ-200 Ransetsu RF. Burst rifle, developed by Boss. Consumes kinetic ammunition to deliver on reliable offensive potential, both in terms of damage and impact. Can be charged to fire burst shots. So that's a massive increase in weight and significant decrease in rounds, but also more than doubles the amount of damage that would be possible. And the impact, which seems like it would probably be quite important as well. I'm going to see what Ransetsu means. 1 second. Not Rasetsu. Okay. Ransetsu means storm, tempest, or mountain air. A violent weather disturbance. It appears that it is also a person's name. So, let's see. I will see if there's a historically important person named Ransetsu. Hattori Ransetsu was an Edo samurai who became a haikai poet under the guidance of Matsuo Basho. So, a samurai who turns poet, whose name means tempest. Very interesting. So, this is essentially the equivalent of a sniper rifle. We can switch from our current battle rifle for that, but current EN load will increase, but it won't reach the point of no return, so that could be viable. I'll consider it. Large caliber handgun developed by Balaam. The rise of core theory introduced a new kind of close quarters combat, and with it, a reappraisal of handguns, which demonstrates stopping power with tremendous impact potential. So, significantly lower amount of rounds, higher EN, significantly lower weight, significantly lower weight, total rounds is massively lowered. Wonder if this would affect its accuracy as well. There isn't an accuracy stat, so it feels like I should assume that everything is just as accurate. But experience probably will determine whether I'm able to confirm that. So this is the Coquille. Let's confirm what that is as well. Oh, it means small shell. It's a type of macaroni. Interesting. So yes, that makes some sense. It is a little bitty shell, so it's a little bitty gun. And we move on to this, which appears to be a rocket launcher. Massive depletion of ammunition compared to the previous, but it has massive increase in attack power at the same time. So, I think if we are to upgrade, we should probably upgrade to this one, which would be a balanced improvement in attack power while lowering rounds a relatively minimalistic amount, and only increasing weight and EN load a bit. We'll keep that in mind as we move on to the next one. But first, let's actually see what this says. The Chuan-Ge, a bazooka developed by Dafeng Core Industries. Rounds explode on contact, guaranteeing heavy impact damage without ricocheting. While more rounds than most competing models, with more rounds than most competing models, Dafeng bazookas deliver a sustained firepower. Okay, so we will first get Dafeng and then Chuan-Ge, or Ge rather. So first, it's a county in the city of Yongqing in China. Dafeng is also a name for leprosy, as well as quote-unquote an 8th level wind and a bird of prey. So, it seems that what we're dealing with is another word for storm. The options for weapons here are talking about storms and the power associated with them. That makes sense for very high caliber weapons and explosive rounds. Let's find out what Chuan-Ge means. Vast separation or remote. Interesting. It's also associated with an important star in the night sky. Specifically, it is associated with the equivalent of Leo in Western astronomy. So a lion-associated star. that is distant and powerful. Makes me think of the lion dancers, the divine beast lion dancers from Shadow of the Erd Tree. For the divine beast is called upon from distant spheres to descend and possess those people. So this is talking about the explosive power being called from the heavens. Yes, it is in fact a star no matter, but it's a specific star, and one that has particular cultural resonance and meaning here. So we have this weapon that can call upon basically what is being compared to a meteoric impact. And then we have a typhoon for a weapon. And then, if we go over here, we can change out our sword for a different weapon if we want. A different gun. So, the Ransetsu RF, the Turner, which we already have, the Ludlow, which we already have, the Coquillette, or the Juanbier. Let's see. I think considering the sword is useful specifically against... Yeah, I think it's literally translating. It means heavenly spear. That's probably worth noting. Let's see. If we're going to replace the sword, which I'm not sure we should, it would have to be replaced with this because of the fact that this will allow us to target those with shields and probably still do a significant amount of damage. So I'll keep that in mind, and we can move on to the back unit. We don't have any upgrade options for this. Still have to stick with the missiles, but we do have the ability to stick something here. Standard pulse shield standard pulse shield developed by Takigawa Harmonics. The SI-24 SUQ5. Okay, so 5 here is being associated with Radigan through intelligence and completion. This allows us to complete our build by having something on the left shoulder. I think we should actually purchase that as such. So, let's see here. Generally unremarkable in terms of performance, but it is well balanced for its low EN footprint. It also offers relatively long initial guard duration for ease of use. Initial guard. I don't know what that means, but it sounds useful. Oh! Him missing a shoulder is equivalent to him missing an arm, so it's like it's as if he had his arm removed like in Sekiro, but there's a lower arm as well which has a sword. Very curious. So the arm is still usable as a weapon via this tool, this ninja tool, as it has specifically been labeled, but the missing arm here is required for completion. The shoulder has to be augmented with something that actually is present. So I'm going to spend the 43,000 and actually purchase this so we have something there. We could alternatively have gone for additional missiles. 4-cell missile, which we've already known about. And complex 2-cell dual missile launcher developed by Furlong Dynamics. Compact rather than complex. Whoops. So it's the Duo O2. O2 inculcates a feeling of helium. think of the sun, and then you have 31, which is gallium, associated with roosters. Haha, the rooster is calling out to the sun. Yes, indeed. Makes some sense. Funny little wordplay going on there. But also specifically linked to the character of not Boulder. What is his name? Character that probably was revived as an undead named Leroy, or Leroy the King. Havel the Rock. Gallium seems to be, or the crow in general, the rooster is associated with Havel the Rock, and the symbol seems to be inherited from specifically the association with the royal family of our Sun King Gwen, as we see it also passing on to the Nameless King and Dragon Slayer Ornstein. So yes, there's a... Oh yeah, also the follower of the Nameless King, who is our dear Solaire. So we have Rooster of the Sun dual missile launcher. We will probably put that on the other shoulder because it's interesting. However, we will first check to see how well it will actually work. And it says capable of multi-locks, which is good. Both of these are supposedly capable of multi-lock. I haven't actually seen that in practice, but we'll try and figure that out sometime. Missiles track targets and explode on hit. Traps targets in a pincer trajectory. That's interesting. Limiting evasive options. This model is suitable for lightweight build and is capable of multi-lock. A pincer strategy, attacking from multiple directions. So, cooperation. Two things working together. The sun and the rooster, side by side. Okay, lots of new heads here. And this one, wow, that's very expensive. Total rounds are reduced, but the impact and attack power is significantly more. It seems like it would be very useful. I said I'd probably purchase that. I'm gonna try to look at the rest of the stuff, because there might be more important purchases first. HD01 Milander. Medium weight head part developed by Balaam. The simple design and solid performance of this model make it suited for mass production, reflecting Balaam's strategy of overwhelming its enemies with material superiority. Wow. Yeah, that's a significant improvement. Goodness. I mean, it's significantly heavier and more energy intensive as well, but system recovery, attitude stability, armor is increased. Yeah, I'm leaning towards that immediately, but first let's see. 11 is sodium energy conduction. Yes. It does certainly eat up energy, that's for sure. and Melander. Looks like it can mean black man from melas and ander. Melas meaning black in Greek, and ander being where we get words like androgynous. So yes, black man, Greek compound word. I'm getting some suggestion that it might also be Irish, that there's something similar from Irish as well, and I know that Ireland is something that has some interest here. Fairy stories are something that Miyazaki is interested in, so let's see if we can't find out what that would be. Okay, so it's a family name meaning pleasant. So, that relates... Oh my gosh! This is a joking reference to Dark Souls 1. Oh, that's, the Kareem, no, not Kareem, Faces, DS1... What is it called? It's not Dubious Kareem. Jubilant Katarina. That's what this is. The Katarinans are the ones with dark skin in Dark Souls. So this is literally Jubilant Katarina. Oh, it's pleasant black man. Yes. Silly business there. Okay, so that is a good face that we could run with. It has heavy defenses. I appreciate that. This one is Tianqiang. Head parts developed by Dafeng Corporation, or Core Industry for the heavyweight Tianqiang AC. Incorporates only the most essential functionality with a minimalist build in keeping with Dafeng's stout tree slender branches philosophy. So that would increase boost speed and defensive performance marginally, but the health would significantly incline downward, and attitude stability would be significantly worse. So I don't think I'll go with that one. Let's see what Tianqiang means. Oh. Celestial Spear. Which means this is directly associated with that missile launcher. This is saying, hey, the Chinese people developed both this funny little flathead and also that rocket launcher. Isn't that cool? They're both representative of the same thing. So that's an interesting choice of design works going on. I won't be going with that, but I do appreciate it. VP-44S. Oh, I forgot to mention that 8 is the Crucible. So, yeah, that's stating the Crucible was a meteor. It's the meteor that brought life to the planet. And stout tree slender branches, that's talking about the fact that the Crucible turned into the Erd tree. Oh my freaking gosh. Oh, FromSoft, you sly dogs. That's some nice freaking lore dripping down the IV right there. So, VP44S. 44 is... One second. My notes don't have what element that is. I just describe the symbolism. Ah, ruthenium. Okay. So ruthenium is associated with Russia. It's got the symbol RU as its periodic table symbol. It's related to platinum. So this gives us 3 different racial indicators so far. Tiancheng is the Far East people, who were... One second. Oh, they were just called Far East Travelers in Dark Souls 1. Thought they had a more specific name. So we have Jubilant Katarina, we have Far East Travelers, who are concerned with the Crucible and the Spear from the Heaven. You have... the Russians, who are going to be... Oh, let's see here. I'm not sure. Which face from Dark Souls 1 would you associate with the Russians? I don't know. On this one, I can't quite parse exactly what they're meaning. FromSoft surely had some sort of idea in mind, but that's something we'll have to figure out later. As for this one, let's see. This one has less increase of health, less increase of defensive performance, and more increase of attitude stability. It increases the weight less. It increases the EN load more. So that's just a sort of thing to be based on what you are interested in. And it is more expensive, which means I would be more inclined to buy this one. At least at the moment. I appreciate that it has the little feather in its cap, though. That's cute. Okay. So this is Nachtreier. So that's night something. What is Reiher? Okay, EH, not IH. Oh, it's a type of heron. So, a nightbird? So that would mean owl. Okay, so this is saying this is the head that you would associate with the owl. The owl was the mentor of Sekiro. If you want to go down that path, you can have this head. Lightweight head part developed by Schneider. Schneider is a specialist in aerodynamic research. This model reflects their experience with light but highly durable or highly stable build. So the durability is very slightly decreased, but you have defensive performance increased. You have attitude stability going way up. You have boosts speed going up slightly, and you have significantly lowered weight. So that is also a very good option. I quite like it, and it looks cool. I will consider purchasing this. Let's see. Gosh, 144,000. That would not leave very much for the other stuff. Okay, chassis frames. That's the same. 11 Millander. So that's keeping up the exact same symbolism there. Medium weight core parts developed by Balaam. Simple design and solid performance of this model make it suited for mass production. This is a core developed by the Dafeng Core Industry for heavyweight Tianqing AC. This is the trunk in Dafeng's stout tree, slender branches philosophy. A defensive foundation with extremely heavy, durable armor. Wow, that increases HP a lot. But the weight is freaking doubled. Oh my gosh. Oh, that is crazy. And the boost speed is significantly reduced. So, let's see here. Generator output adjustment increases, which is interesting. Attitude stability increases massively, and armor is increased by that. So this is actually one I would consider just because of the massive defensive performance and armor increases. The current load is a real problem, but it doesn't look like it's making it completely crazy. If I only chose this one, then maybe it could work out, but yeah, that's not great. I'd have to be very careful with the rest of my my work for this to actually work out. Not that I have the money to actually purchase such a thing right now. So the 40S, this one's 44S, so 40S is a different number, meaning there's a slightly different meaning. So this is zirconium, a gold mimic, which also is used to create false diamonds. Cubic zirconium. I think that's the same mineral. Anyway, that false gold lends itself towards a sort of demonic interpretation. It is the iron in the fusion that turns it away from being a long-lasting star. It is the yellow that causes insanity to seep in and destroy things, to corrupt them from their foundations. This is a sort of Shabriri-themed chassis. Mass-produced core part developed by Arquebus. And Arquebus is a type of crossbow. No, not a crossbow. Arquebus is a type of hand cannon. So this is a company that names itself after the first firearms. A number of refinements and updates have been made to the strong foundation laid by the preceding model, creating a masterpiece in the realm of second-generation armor core parts. Very high praise for this fool's gold. yeah, I wouldn't get caught dead choosing that, despite the fact that it is a very, very good part, it looks like. It has lots of improvements and not that much in the way of weight loss. If I were not studying this in symbolic terms, I would choose this one. So, here is the Nightbird, 40E. That's interesting. This Nightbird is also Fool's Gold, so it's referencing the fact that the Witch of Izalith created demons in Dark Souls, presumably, and the creation of the Chaos Flame led towards a breakdown in the alliance, presumably between the Witch and Gwen, although, to be fair, that could have broken down earlier. I still need to do some more research into that. But regardless, they failed to actually produce a long-lasting fuel for the sun. So it's both of them failing in their joint efforts. A lightweight core developed by Schneider. Schneider is a specialist in aerodynamic research, and this model reflects that experience with light and highly agile build. So the Nightbird is highly agile, makes sense. Owl is a agile opponent. But it's at the cost of a lot of other stuff. So you have lower defensive performance, lower armor power, lower attitude stability, and higher boost speed. This is something that you would probably want to think about if you were a very advanced player who has high capacity to control things, and that's not where I am right now. Oh, sorry. Farewell, no matter. Enjoy your sleep and rest well. So I'd probably shift to the Melander, maybe, if I was upgrading. It seems reasonable enough. It's a low weight increase and EN load, and it majorly improves the performance and armor stability, defense, and generator output. But I'm gonna have to save for that. I have just less than I would be needing in order to make it work out. Okay, these arms, or this is the arms section. 95,000. Okay. Medium weight arm parts developed by Balaam. The simple design and solid performance of this model make it suited for mass production, reflecting Balaam's strategy of overwhelming its enemies with material superiority. So yes, significant improvements on the AP arms load limit, which is very powerful. I guess that means that you can equip more heavy equipment. That's good. And firearm specialization, so that would... Interesting. So this would mean that you would want to use guns rather than just having a sword there, I guess. I'm not 100% sure, but that seems reasonable. Let's see. Not that much in the way of increase on health, but defensive performance increases. Boost speed decreases. Very heavy Tiancheng arms. These ones are no? Those aren't asymmetrical. The ones that I currently have. No, it's not asymmetrical, it just has a missing shoulder piece. Okay. So, 08, these two are the same on numbers. Arm parts developed for the Dafeng industry for the heavyweight Tiancheng AC, built to embody Dafeng's stout tree, slender branches philosophy. Their weight is balanced by heavy upper arms and lighter forearms. Increases the armor significantly, as all of the Tiancheng things do. Arms load limit is massively increased. Firearms specialization is dropped. So guns will be less useful. Weight is nearly doubled. EN load is spiked up there. AP. Yep. Defensive performance is significantly increased. Boost speed is lowered. Okay, VP-46S. Mass-produced arms part developed by Arquebus. A number of refinements and updates have been made to the strong foundation laid by the preceding model, creating a masterpiece in the realm of second-generation armor parts. So let's see, what's 46? It's no longer the fool's gold of zirconium, so let's see. Okay, so that's good. That is Palladium, Wisdom, and Protection. So these arms are the arms of a paladin. Very reasonable. Those arms are arms that I would be interested in getting. So it is actually perfection, whereas the chassis is fool's gold. These are very workable. So... Yes. And then finally, you also have these ones, which are linked to Paladins. It continues to link the Arquebus, the gun, with Schneider. Oh yeah, I forgot to look up what Schneider is. My German isn't 100% high enough. It's not Hunter, that's Jaeger. Schneider is like Jaguar? Okay. Schneider is one who cuts, or literally one who cuts, but is also associated with the profession of tailors. So it's one who properly gives themselves a suit. A tailor is going to be heavily linked with Radigan because of his sewing expertise. That means these probably would be the best to go for if we're wanting to do a funny little lore reflective run here. Significantly reduces almost everything but firearm specialization, which is interesting. So let's see. I guess I should probably buy those after I get the bazooka, though, which means it's going to be a later purchase. Fortunately, the armor and arms load limit are relatively small decreases, so that's not something super high to worry about. And then legs. This continues the Jubilant Katarina, rather. Medium weight bipedal legs, or leg parts developed by Balaam. The simple design and solid performance of this model make it suited for mass production, reflecting Balaam's strategy of overwhelming its enemies with material superiority. More super heavy Tianqin bipedal legs developed by the Dafeng Core industry for the heavyweight Tianqiang AC. Built to embody Dafeng's stout tree slender branches philosophy, their weight is balanced by heavy upper legs and lighter lower legs. So lots of crucible power there, as we already established, but let's see. That's again 10,000 more weight. Ion load is pretty heavy, but load limit would actually be increased to exactly the amount that is necessary for properly burying these legs, it looks like. Oh no, the load limit is massively increased by these. That makes sense. Okay. The current load is not increased, but the load limit is massively increased. So, these I might actually consider, simply because of the fact that we will at the very least be carrying a heavy weapon on one arm, probably. And it significantly increases the health, defensive performance, and attitude stability as well, which is very good. So we can probably work with that. 422. I'm not sure how to exactly parse that. What I do know is this design of legs is very much inspired by some of the legs on some of the mechs of not actually Gundams themselves, but some of the very heavy, not even mobile suits, mobile armors from Mobile Suit Gundam. So that's an interesting little design flourish there. Increases health by less, attitude stability by less, load limit by less, but let's see. Weight is only increased by a little bit. Ion load is only increased by that much. That's not a great improvement. Yeah, the Tianqiang seems to be way better than the VP422. Mass-produced bipedal leg parts developed by Arquebus. A number of refinements and updates have been made to the strong foundation laid by the preceding model, creating a masterpiece in the realm of second-generation AC parts. I suppose it's probably pretty good in comparison to one that isn't nearly as heavy as this, but I think with legs, a little bit of extra weight is fine so long as you have high load limit increase. And these are funny. These are actual bird legs for the bird, the Nightbird model. I like that. It's cute. Oh, ooh. Ah, and four-toed Foulfoot. Hee. So, let's see. 42, meaning of life, haha. But also... okay, molybdenum. And let's see. Yeah, it seems there's a lot of association with molybdenum and 42 from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, but also there's something about An abundant number as well as a highly abundant number. 42 is the number with which God creates the universe in Kabbalistic tradition. I wonder if that's how Douglas Adams actually got the number he was looking for. So that sort of makes some sense. In Kabbalah, the most significant name is that of Ein Sof, or infinite, is above the Sephirot. The 42-lettered name contains 4 combined names which are spelled in Hebrew letters. While there are obvious links between the 42-lettered name of the Babylonian Talmud and the Kabbalah's 42-lettered name, they are probably not identical because of the Kabbalah's emphasis on numbers. Kabbalah also contains a 45-lettered name and a 72-lettered name. Okay. So, creation of the universe makes me think specifically of the painted world. So it's relating to the fact that the painted world is Velka's domain, and therefore that you're continuing on throughout the series of FromSoft games through painting. So that's a very interesting sort of situation here. Lightweight bipedal parts developed by Schneider. Schneider is a specialist in aerodynamics research, and this model reflects their experience with light and highly agile builds. Boost speed is majorly increased, weight is decreased significantly, HP, attitude stability, load limit are decreased all. So, that could be a problem. I'm actually sort of inclined to get this for aesthetic and or lore reasons. I like the idea of the funny little bird legs, as well as the creation of the universe aspect here. That is freaking expensive, mind you. So I'd have to save up for some time, and I'd have to make sure that the load limit is not going to be a problem. Let's see, we can't get any more boosters or these or these. Okay, so first we will go with this. We already said we would, so that's what we're gonna do. Do. Lots of money gone, yay. And it doesn't look like we have anything else that we could purchase other than these little pistols, which I am not interested in for now. Despite the fact that they somehow actually have more destructive power than our rifle. Since it says close-in combat is going to be a focus with those weapons, I'm going to try and guess that it will actually be, you know, reduced accuracy. Anyway, let's go back to AC design. Behold! I have assembled an armored core! And I think that took out basically all of my money. I now have combat fundamentals available. I think I'll make this my last mission of the stream. Seems like it would be reasonable enough to go with. This VR simulation is for basic mercenary training. Okay, Beginner Training 2, Combat Fundamentals. Objective, complete program. Details. This VR simulation for basic mercenary training is provided by Allmind. Pilot a training craft to learn the basics of combat. Training subjects. Charge attacks. ACS Strain and Stagger. Direct hits / ACS Accumulative Strain / Surprise Attack / Shield Defense / Attack Indicators and Initial Guard / Assault Boost Attacks. That's a lot of stuff, but okay. Some weapons are capable of charge attacks, which exhibit different properties and behavior compared to regular attacks. Very interesting. ACS Strain and Stagger. The ACS attitude control system of a craft can be compromised by accumulating strain from the impact of repeated attacks. ACS overload results in a vulnerable state called Stagger, during which time the affected craft will be immobilized and susceptible to critical damage. During Stagger, all incoming attacks are treated as direct hits and deal much more damage. ACS strain inflicted on enemies resets after a brief interval, but a portion of that strain will remain. Weapons vary in the amount of accumulative strain they inflict, with explosive impact generally leaving the ACS strain of highest quality and quantity. Surprise attacks. Attacks on enemies that are unaware of your presence will inflict greater ACS strain than usual. Shields equipped on the left shoulder can be deployed to reduce incoming attack and ACS strain. Shield output is maximized for 1 to 2 seconds after deployment. Blocking during this initial guard window can help to minimize incoming damage and ACS strain. Assault boost attacks. During assault boost rush attacks, small arms that can be used during movement will inflict greater impact, and impact you receive will be reduced. Whoops. Well, that was a very awkward ending there, but oh well. Now I've unlocked the LR Curtis with a 36. Let's see. 36 is Krypton, the hidden one, very much associated with lasers. Makes sense considering the fact that this is a laser weapon. Thank you very much, FromSoft, for making the direct and logical choice there. Curtis, however, let's see. Oh, it's what's obvious. Curtis. Curtis means polite, as in courtesy. Yay! The very polite laser weapon. I love it. So let's see. What do we have here? Lessened total rounds, but higher attack power and impact. Yep. The Curtis seems the way to go. High-speed linear rifle developed by Balaam. A special type of rifle that accelerates... Oh, it's not even actually firing rifles. It's not even firing lasers. It's firing rounds so fast that they look like lasers on the screen. That's great. It's a mimic laser rifle. Oh my gosh. Very politely mimicking lasers. So, yes. High-speed linear rifle developed by Balaam, a special type of rifle that accelerates rounds using electromagnetic repulsion. Charging the weapon further increases round velocity, in turn increasing damage. I like it. Let's go. What a beautiful little gun here. But that's going to be about it. I think that is the end. We're going to have to call it quits for now. Quit game, I guess. Save game and quit. Farewell, friends.